Hello. Welcome to the Smile Revolution with Princess Wow. And we raise awareness to the healing power of a genuine smile. If you haven't seen my show before, welcome. I'm also known as Mindy Fradkin. Some people know me as Mindy Fradkin or Princess Wow, one or the other. Anyway, I have a really exciting show tonight. I'm really excited for whoever's here live or in replay. And let's see. Somebody wants to say hello. Gumby wants to say hello and give you a big smile and a hug. And this is my 116th show since lockdown last year. And I started out the first week of lockdown in March last year. Since I had a radio show, some of you know, but anyway, I had a radio show promoting the Smile Revolution. Oh, and guess who else wants to say hello? Mindy. She always likes to get on the action. It's from a picture of me. And Princess Lava, because she's so pretty. And she matches. Actually, when I got her, it was before I had my lavender hair. Isn't she pretty? Anyway, we're just having fun here and bringing more joy. And let's see who else. My hippopotamus. He wants to say hi too. Okay. So I'm going to start with, I have a whole album of smile songs that I wrote with Roland Musa, my husband. I'll just sing a little bit. Smile, 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 a simple smile will do. Smile, 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 it comes back to you. So don't forget to smile. It's about giving and receiving smiles. I don't smile all the time, do you? Some people do. But I always say, even during a pandemic, you can still focus on the good and be grateful for what you do have. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's all about perspective. As David Essel, who's going to be on shortly, I read one of his blog posts today about changing your perspective about the pandemic. And I agree with him. We're going to be talking about it shortly. And I have some quotes. One of my favorite quotes from Mother Teresa is, "Peace begins with a smile." And let's see. Oh, and we're just having fun. We need more fun in the world, don't we? Okay, now let's see. The Healing Power of Humor by Alan Klein. Okay, let's see here what he says. I might need my glasses. Okay. I found this today, which is really good. Okay. A kick in the seat of the pants. Roger von Eck or Oak, I'm not sure, Oech, a pioneer in the study of creativity, writes about the importance of setting our mental channel. He's not specifically talking about learning to see the humorous side of things. The principle he's discussing is the same for achieving any goal. Take a look around where you're sitting and find 5 things that have blue in them. Go ahead and do it. With a blue mindset, you'll find that blue jumps out at you. A blue book on the table, a blue pillow on the couch, blue in the painting on the wall, and so on. Similarly, whenever you learn a new word, you hear it 6 times in the next 2 days. Anyway, so then I'm going to skip down to our mental channel, our mindset, our intentions steer us in the direction we want to head. In our case, is to learn to laugh when we feel like crying. Take a look around when you're sitting and find 5 things that make you smile. Go ahead and do it. With a smile mindset, you'll find that things that cause you to smile jump out at you. A childhood toy, a favorite picture, your pet, and so on. In addition, when you smile, things seem to smile back. In other words, if you look for smiles, you'll find them. It's all a matter of setting your mental channel. And hold on one second. All right. Okay. Now the next thing is here. I have this journal. It's called Kindness Every Day. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "It's one of the most beautiful compensations of life that no man can sincerely try to help another without helping himself." And Mr. Rogers, I always like to read from his book. With everyone, most people know about this quote, but it's just so great. When I was a boy, I would see scary things in the news. My mother would say to me, look for the helpers. You'll always find people who are helping. To this day, especially in times of disaster, like in a pandemic, he wrote this before that. Obviously, he's not here. I remember my mother's words, and I'm always comforted by realizing that there are still so many helpers, so many caring people in this world. I think he wrote this after the 9/11 attack. And then I just love that hat. I make hats too. Some of you may know that. I have this little book by Robin Johnson. Sir John Barrington said, dress has a moral effect upon the conduct of mankind. And here's a picture from like the 1920s, one of my favorite eras. And let's see what else we have here. Okay, and then I have a smile mug. Okay, may you give and receive many smiles with my logo. If you want to get one, they are $25, including shipping. Let me just see. Hold on 1 second. Here, I'll just put this underneath. And let's see what else. Okay, so, well, I think I'm going to introduce my guest today, David Essel. He is the number one best-selling author, counselor, master life coach, international speaker, and minister whose mission is to positively affect 2 million people or more every day in every area of life, regardless of their current circumstances. Celebrity Jenny McCarthy says David Essel is the new leader of the positive thinking movement. And the more I've been researching him, I'm amazed at all the things that he does and all the people that he does help. And he recently started this 100-day smile campaign, I think April 21st. So we're going to talk about that, of course. That's how we met, just because of that. But also, we have really exciting news because yesterday he got engaged. So I feel like I'm part of the excitement because having him on tonight is really exciting since they just announced the news last night. Him and Emma, what he calls her Mia, Noga. Anyway, I've got to show you my shoe of the day, my shoe calendar, because I love shoes and I have to show my shoe calendar. Well, anyway, here he comes.
Hey, Mindy.
Hi, David.
Great to be with you.
Good to be with you. I'm amazed at you. I swear it's incredible, all the things that you do.
It keeps me very active. It keeps me very young.
Yeah.
And Mindy, in all honesty, it matches my ADD. Every hour is a different topic, a different subject, a different person, right? And it's like perfect for me. And when I talk to people who have ADD and they think it's a negative, we say, wait a minute, there's all kinds of ways to work around it, So don't let that bother you. You just have to find a career that's ever changing. Right. And you'll be great. You'll be great. Mindy, I kind of feel like you're almost like a minister for Mia and I, since you were with us yesterday during the engagement. And here you are today on the air talking about it. Welcome to the family.
I feel like I am part of the family. It's like the timing is amazing. I mean, I know. I was like in shock, right? It is amazing, yeah. Right?
Oh, and she has the most incredible smile. Mia is, and she's always lifting me up, and I'm supposed to be the positive one.
Right. Well, we all have our moments. I mean, nobody's right. We all do.
My mom died 12 weeks ago, and
I'm sorry. I knew that. I didn't know if you want to talk about it or not, but that's why I'm glad you're bringing it up, not me.
Yeah, I think it's really important. When my mom, I am my mom, literally.
I know it's hard. It's like, I know. It's okay, David. It's okay.
Thank you, Mindy. I'm a reflection of her, and Mia is even a deeper and a reflection of my mother. She has this connection with my mother that she talks to my mother every day, and she tells me, the things that her and my mom talk about. I mean, it's incredible. So it's kind of interesting, the timing. 12 weeks ago, we lose my mom, and 12 weeks later, I get engaged to someone who has the exact same power, beauty, personality, and attitude of my mother. It's almost freaky in a way, Mindy.
That's really neat.
And we believe, Mia and I believe that, it's definitely God at work. And for people that don't believe in God, our higher powers at work, whatever you want to call it. But we believe God and my mom are at work that brought us together.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
you know, we believe, of course, we should
Well, I
that.
believe in God too. I'm very spiritual and prayerful person.
Yeah,
You're talking to the right person.
I love it.
Yeah.
And you know, we believe that
I'm already part of the family, so.
I know. But you know, we believe everything in life led us to be ready for each other. And so for people who are single out there, you know, we're writing a new book. Me and I are writing a book together about our relationship and all the kind of stuff. But you know, one of the things that we said is we're older, right? I mean, we're older. We've created this dynamic love relationship that's filled with smiles, Mindy. I mean, every day, all day long, you know,
That's
between both of
great.
us. And you know, if you wait and if you clean up your act and if you are happy single, that is the best time to look for a relationship. When you can be at peace with no one in your life. And that's how Mia and I met. She was single, I was single, and you know, we had spent time alone. We had spent time working on ourselves.
Right.
And you know, and that's what and part of the message of the book, Mindy, will be this. You know, how do you get ready to be engaged? How do you get ready to fall in love? How do you get ready to create a deep love relationship? Well, in our book, we've got some surprising things that'll come out from our story with Mia. And then there's going to be
I can't wait because I'm single. I'm solo. I just have my cat here. I'm divorced.
right.
Yeah.
And you know, and there's you know, as a counselor for 42 years now, there are things that I have learned. I've made major mistakes in relationships in the past, but then taking time off, reflecting, I came to the plate with saying, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to be happy as heck on my own, and I'm going to wait. And that's kind of one of the patience messages that we have for people.
Right.
You know, it's like, take your time. You know, there's the pressure of women to be in a relationship is so off the charts. It's crazy. And so what a lot of women do is they'll go from one relationship to the next. They're afraid of being alone.
Right.
They're right because they think they're missing out on life.
Right.
But if you can get happy on your own, you're ready for love. I mean it, Mindy. You're ready for love. And Mia was happy as heck without me. Possibly some days she's happier before without me. But you know, in all honesty, you know, she's over here going, no. But you know, in all honesty, we waited.
All right. Well, how did you meet though?
You know, the first time Mia met me was on YouTube 10 years ago on my video, The Sugar Addiction. And she was fascinated. She had never heard of sugar addiction before.
Okay.
So that was the introduction.
Okay, cool. All right. So I wanted to ask you about, well, that's wonderful. I can't wait to read it. It's like, I know it's going to help me a lot.
Good.
So when's that going to come out? Or you're writing it right now?
Writing it now. You know, my guestimation is probably August.
Well,
I think
you
probably about August.
what do you have, 10 books already?
11.
11. Okay. So you have, how long does it take you to write a book usually? Like a year or 10? All
Mindy,
different.
Wait till you hear this. When I first started writing 25 years ago, it was about 2.5 years to finish a book.
Which is fast.
Well, which is fast, but wait till you hear this. In 25 years of writing, I created a system that I teach other people that you can write a book in 30 days or less. The last 3 books I've written, it was 2 weeks of preparing an outline, 2 days, and the book was completed.
Wow.
I wrote my last 3 books in 2 days each, you know, and Mindy, it's possible. And I have no background in literature, broadcast journalism. I have no background in anything.
Okay.
But you do something for 25 years, you find shortcuts, you know?
That's amazing. I mean, because I know people, it takes like 8 years to write a book.
A lot of people.
I mean, most people, that's like, sounds like the norm.
And you know, the reason it takes so long is because they have not completed an incredible outline. My outlines are so in detail, point by point. Chapter 1, here's the point, here's the story. Here's the point, here's the story. If you do it the way that we teach it.
Okay.
And then here's the other thing, Mindy, we don't type.
You don't type?
Everything is voice to phone.
Oh, wow.
Pull up an email, put chapter 1 in the subject line, put the title of chapter 1, and then I just hit record. I look at my notes, I record the complete chapter, send it to be edited, do the next chapter, but I don't type at all. Everything is voice. And you know, you can speak.
That's amazing.
Oh, and plus, when people say, when I read your books, it's like I'm talking to you.
Well, because it is, you literally are talking to them.
Totally, right? So
I've never heard of this.
I know. Oh my God, we blow people's minds when they say, "Hey, your last book, how long did it take you?" 2 days. What about the book before that? 2 days. What about the book before that? It's just
I
so
just can't
fun.
get over you. You're like a trip. I know. It's like I've never heard of this before. It's amazing.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so let me ask you.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. You can finish. What were you
Oh, I
going
was
to
just
say?
going to say, when people talk about writer's block only occurs if your outline isn't detailed enough.
Okay.
If your outline is detailed, there's no such thing as writer's block.
So you teach a course in this?
Yeah, we teach a course on how to write a book in 30 days. I mean, it's incredible. So people, can go to our website and check it out. But
Okay. I have all your information here on the bottom.
yeah, perfect. davidessel.com is awesome. And anyone, and Mindy, this is the thing that's so important. Mia has never written a book.
Okay.
I look over here because she's sitting to my left.
She's sitting over there.
But she's never written a book. I'm going to show her how easy it is for her to add her words to every chapter, because it's not just my story. She's a big part of it. Without her, I wouldn't have this book.
That's so cool. That's amazing. Yeah. So, all right, let me ask you about the your 100-day Smile campaign. You started that, April 21st?
Yeah, and the response was incredible. We get private messages all the time. Thank God someone, just like you, Mindy, thank God someone's putting positive stuff out into the world.
Right.
Thank God someone is doing something that isn't focused on the pandemic, the election, the vaccine, the nonsense, right?
Right.
Like let's get away from that. It's ridiculous. So we started, and I'll tell you, my mom was a huge inspiration. Even though she had already passed, she smiled constantly. That woman,
really.
My brother said today, my mom's glass was 99.99.99% full.
Oh,
she was precious. She never saw anything but good.
Okay.
Amazing, Mindy.
That's really neat. So you started that inspired by your mother.
Yeah, she inspires so much, and she inspired me to get sober years and years ago. So much.
You've overcome a lot, and you've turned it into helping so many people.
Yeah, and that's and we believe, on this earth, it's our purpose. No matter what you do, it should be about serving others.
Right.
I don't care if you're a convenience store clerk, if you're an astronaut or whatever. It should really be about helping others, especially right now, Mindy.
Exactly. Well, that's why I started my show in the first week of pandemic. I said I was like racked in fear. And then it's like my friend said, "Can you do an uplifting Facebook Live?" And I'm like, "Sure." And I just started. I had a radio show, and I've been touring with a one-woman show and all the stuff. But it's like I had the talents and the props and the wardrobe and for my radio show about smiling. So I had everything, and I just started, and I just kept going. It helped me get through the pandemic and a lot of people.
Well, you know what I like about what you just said, and I think our audience can benefit from this. Don't wait until you're ready. I swear to God.
Do it. Exactly. You just do it.
Neil Donald Walsh, who I believe is a phenomenal writer, he wrote a series of books called Conversations with God.
Right. He was on my radio show years ago.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yep. Twice.
He has a great quote, and he says this: if you have extreme passion, don't wait for the next degree. Don't wait for the next book to get you ready. Don't wait for the next course to get you ready. Go. And as you teach, you learn, right?
Yeah,
as teachers, you and I are teachers. We learn from people every day.
Mm-hmm.
So teach, go. Don't wait until you're ready to write a book. Start writing. Well, first learn how to write an outline, but then start going. Because too many times people say, well, I'll wait until I retire. I'll wait until this. I'll wait until I lose the weight. Just quit waiting. Life is going by. I'm going to bring Mia into every conversation.
That's fine. You're just got engaged yesterday.
I know. It's so exciting.
I know. It's so great.
But she is like that. She is a woman of action. Mm-hmm. Whatever she wants, she goes after. She's a powerhouse. She's a force of nature. And we need to be surrounded by people like this. If you look at your core of who you hang with, and we have an exercise in therapy we give to our clients. Write down the names of the people that you're in touch with every 2 weeks. Text, email, phone, doesn't matter. That you're most in contact with. Next to each of their names, write this. Do they move you forward? Do they hold you back? What do they do? And what people find is about 80% of their circle, if they're not accomplishing what they want, 80% of their circle is not pushing them forward.
Okay.
And so we say, hey, you don't have to get rid of them unless you should.
Right.
Start cutting back time with people who are gossipers, negative,
Right.
conspiracy theorists, whatever it is, right?
Right.
Cut back on time. Open your circle for people who believe in accomplishing goals, that believe in going after what's most important to them. Because who you hang out with, it's just like, Mindy, you know this, what you watch, what you listen to, who you hang on with, what you read every day influences this in either the negative direction or the positive.
Absolutely, yes. I agree with you, yeah. And in the pandemic, it's interesting how everybody's been pivoting and everyone's been changing and meeting. I've been meeting all these new people, but then some people have been like leaving my experience too.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Like everything's different now.
And can we go into that topic?
I want to talk to you because I read your blog post today I love that blog post about thinking differently about the pandemic because I totally am on the same page.
Perfect.
Okay, so let's talk with that. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
The pandemic has got everyone in a tightwad, right? Like we're afraid of this, afraid of that, fearful of this, frustrated that we can't travel or whatever it is, right?
Right.
And so on June 1st of last year, I made a decision and I cut out all media and we cut back social media by about 90%. And we did it because the only thing we were seeing was nonsense. People arguing about the conspiracy of the vaccine, the conspiracy of the pandemic, the election insanity and everything else.
Right.
And so we said, wait a minute, there's got to be a better way. So June 1st, we cut out all media whatsoever. And then except for interviews like I'm doing with you. And then I got to thinking when I wrote the article that you're referring to is that the pandemic needs a new perspective. And the perspective that we believe, and we teach this 5 days a week, is that imagine the pandemic is never leaving. It's here for good. And I want to make a strong point here. In 2020, everyone said when 2021 hits, we're done. The pandemic is over.
Right.
No more worries, no more nothing. It's nonsense. We're in 2021. It is still here.
Right.
We have clients in Thailand and it's exploded in Thailand.
Really?
Oh my God. Other parts of the world, it's still exploding.
India. So Thailand right now, it still is?
Yeah, right now. Oh my gosh. And so we said, here's the new perspective. Let's live as if the pandemic is never leaving. Let's start doing things as if it's not even around, as if it's not even affecting us. Now, within, social distancing, and if you have to wear the mask and your hair, your hands and all that stuff, we're not saying be reckless. We're saying don't expect it to leave. Never expect it to go. It's here for life. Now, when you have that attitude, and then you say, okay, it's here for life. So what do I want to do? Do I want to write a book? Do I want to get engaged?
Right.
This is the time to act. This isn't the time to continue to pull back, argue. That's all nonsense. And one of the examples that I give is this. When I work with veterans of war, and they've been back 5 years from Afghanistan, and they're suffering from anxiety, depression, PTSD, addiction, etc., they haven't been in that environment in 5 years. They haven't been there, but they're still suffering.
Right.
And I'm going to tell the reality of the pandemic. If we don't start doing things differently with this pandemic, if we don't start really focusing on smiling more, if we don't focus on going after our dreams, if we don't focus on the positive, if the pandemic ends, we're going to be in such a mess, just like the veterans who come back. They're not in the war anymore, but they're still fighting the war.
Well, because it's all like a thought.
It really is. And, alcohol sales online a year ago to today is up 1,000%.
I know.
And if we don't, and I'm a former alcoholic, and I know the damage that alcohol does, especially to relationships. So what we have to say is that let's pretend the pandemic is here for life. Now, let's move forward. We're not waiting for it to go away. We're going to act sensibly. And if you're struggling with an addiction right now, it is the time to get help. If your marriage is on the rocks, it is the time to get help. If you don't know what the heck to do with your career because you're lost, it's time to get help. Don't sit and wait for this thing to pass. Don't sit and wait for a new president. Don't, if you don't like the current one, whatever is your gift. Right. Like you got to live. So what would be really exciting for you to go after in 2021? I want the audience to think about this. Write this question down. Use your brain. If I could go after something that would lift my spirits and help others, what would it be? Let's start going after these goals instead of waiting for some magical moment where there's no more masks, no more pandemic. And you know this, Mindy, the pandemic could be here for 10 more years. No one has the answers.
We don't know.
No, and it's all speculation, right?
Right. And the point is that all we have is the present, really. Because God is saying, I'll go into God is in the moment. That's all we have is right now, really. The past is gone. The future hasn't gotten here yet. So it's like all we really have is right now. So it goes in line with what you're saying, because if we have only right now, we're not waiting till the pandemic's over. We're not waiting till one day everything's better. You have to act. You just have to be in the moment. What feels right now?
Yeah, exactly.
It goes in line with what you're saying.
Totally. And and it reflects one of my favorite books, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, he said, this is it. Don't look any further than right now. So if we ask the audience right now, are you happy? Are you at peace? Do you need to start putting more time into your spiritual path? Do you need to start putting more time into taking care of the temple, your body? Do you need to spend more time forgiving others who have hurt you because you're carrying that pain? Do you need to spend more time forgiving yourself? What would make you joyful? What would make you happy? These are questions that we have to ask ourselves. And then, Mindy, the most important thing is, once you find out what's going to potentially make you more happy, act, go. Don't get stuck in affirmations and vision boards and all this nonsense. You've got to act. And I want people to have a positive attitude. Use affirmations. We say first thing in the morning, do all the positive thinking stuff. The affirmations, the journaling, the gratitude, the forgiveness, the whatever it is that you need to do. And then go. And then go after that dream. Go after that goal. Whatever you need to do. But do not sit in the power of thought to change your life. Use the power of thought combined with action to move through 2021. So 2022 is phenomenal.
Yeah. No, it's really, we just have to keep going forward.
Absolutely.
Because that's all we can only go forward. You can't go backwards. I mean, you can, but we want to go forward and work things out. And I mean, we all have our own way of doing it, but yeah. And so right now, I know you said on your website, it says you have a free 15-minute counseling phone session.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to work with me for 15 minutes at no charge whatsoever, go to the website, davidessel.com.
It's all down there. I have it down there.
Underneath Mindy and I, take a look at that.
Right. Yeah.
Go there, and all you do is just let us know that you want a free 15-minute. My team will set it up. We'll chat. We'll talk. We work with people from all over the world. So it doesn't matter if you're watching us from Asia or from next door to Mindy's house, or maybe you're down the street from me. Doesn't matter where you live. We can work with you and help you from anywhere. And
then you also have a Thursday night free workshop, or I don't know, can you explain the video workshop that you have?
Yeah. So we do online video courses. We have 10 of them, Mindy, and once a month we give away one of the courses. So when you go to the website, you can sign up for the free course, and every month you're going to get a notification in your email. And I forget what the course that we're giving away this month. It just came out yesterday. We've got so much going on, especially with Mia now. My brain is a little fried.
Right.
Excitement, But if they go to the website, they can get the course right now and start moving their life forward at no charge whatsoever.
Wait, so anybody can get that, or just
anyone? Anyone in the world can get the course. Just go to the website and you'll see.
Okay, well, that's really, because you say that you want to positively affect 2 million people from any area of life, regardless of their certain. That's really cool that you do that.
Wow. Yeah. Years ago, my publicist, TJ Torriello, and I were talking, and you've reached out to TJ. He's a great, great guy.
Yeah, we've been talking. Yeah.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out how could we impact the world the most? What is it that we could do? So we started with goals, 50,000 people, 500,000 people, whatever it might be. With YouTube, we have 2,000 free videos. We have tons of views on those. I do shows like yours almost every day.
That's great.
And so we branch out to those 2 million people through all kinds of avenues. We write an article for an addiction recovery magazine called Recovery Today. Every month a new article comes out. So we're hitting people, Mindy, from every angle possible, and that's how we're reaching the numbers.
That's great. That's really good. And then Jenny McCarthy, the actress. Now, how did you meet? You were on, wait, you had a radio show on Sirius, and so did she, or?
Yeah, well, I had a radio show with Sirius XM, and TJ reached out to Jenny. And at first, Jenny said, I got a great story about this, Mindy.
Okay.
So at first she said, I'm not really sure, there's a book behind me, Positive Thinking Will Never Change Your Life, but this book will.
Right.
So that book had just come out, and he sent it to Jenny, and she said, I'm a real positive thinker. I love the law of attraction. I'm not sure this would be a right match. And TJ said, Jenny, you're going to fall in love with David. Just do it. And so she took his word. So I get in the studio. She is this sweetest woman in the world. I'm not kidding you. She's smart. She's funny. She's gorgeous, all those things, but she's really down to earth and sweet. Gives me a big hug. I sit in the chair. We start chatting. And then she goes, hey, we're going to go on in a minute. And I'm going to do something different, David. So get ready. I said, fine. So she goes on. She goes, I've got this guy coming up, David Essel, who's written this book, Positive Thinking Will Never Change Your Life. However, this is going to be an interesting show, gang, because, I've been talking about The Secret and the law of attraction forever. I love those things. Mm-hmm. We're going to see what David says. I'm going to give him 3 minutes to explain his book. At the end of the 3 minutes, I will either be a convert or I won't. David, are you ready? And then she gave me 3 minutes. Mindy, at the end of 3 minutes, it was so incredible. She stopped, shook her head, leans into the mic and says, ladies and gentlemen, I am now convinced that David Essel is the new leader of the positive thinking movement, period. He has convinced me that the law of attraction is fun and it's great, but it's not going to bring you what they tell you it's going to bring you.
Okay.
The Secret is fun. It's awesome, but it's not going to bring you what they tell you. And in that one interview, then we went back 5 times after that, Mindy. She brought me back 5 more times because we really connected and she understood, listen, affirmations are great. Vision boards are great, but they're not going to change your life. Mm-hmm. And in the book, Positive Thinking Will Never Change Your Life, we have story after story after story. I mean, some really intense ones. Like Scarlett Lewis, my friend, her son Jesse at 6 years of age was murdered at the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre. Mm-hmm. She writes her story in the book and she says, all these people were saying things like, God needed another angel. It was his time to go. Right. He's in a better place. All this nonsensical positive crap. And that nonsensical positive crap, when you tell it to someone who just lost a child or a lover or whatever it might be, it's like you're stuffing their pain down their throat. And so she writes in the book that you cannot cover up pain with positive thinking and ever expect to heal. Mm-hmm. Listen to this, Mindy. By following the work that she did, and she told me, David, it's identical to the work you teach. It's all about writing daily your emotions. She wrote hours a day her rage at Adam Lanza, the murder. Mm-hmm. She wrote hours a day at her anger and everything. And then she got to forgiveness. And the very first time, Mindy, I had her on my show was exactly 8 months after he was murdered. Jesse was murdered. And I said, first of all, I can't believe that you're doing an interview only 8 months after your son was murdered. Where are you in the world of forgiveness with Adam Lanza? And Scarlett Lewis blew me away. She said, David, I've forgiven him 75%. I said, in 8 months after the death of your child? She said, yes, and it's going to go to 100%. And so then I asked the next question for the audience. Why are you so willing to forgive the killer of your child? And her answer was amazing, Mindy. She said, David, Adam Lanza, I'm getting chills right now. Adam Lanza may have taken my son, Jesse, but he's not going to take the rest of my life and my other son, JT.
Yeah.
We are turning this around. We're forgiving him so he does not rule our lives. And Mindy, Scarlett Lewis today is one of the premier speakers on forgiveness the world has ever seen.
That's wonderful.
And so she even explains
I have the chills too. I have the chills too.
Isn't it incredible? Like she explains in the book, you cannot cover up your pain with positive thoughts because it's coming out somewhere, somehow. Addiction, depression, anxiety, low self-confidence, low self-esteem. When we do not forgive, we are trapped in a space of hell that is never changing. Now, I want to make a really important point. Forgiveness is not turning the other cheek. So sorry to blow your brains out. Forgiveness is not turning the other cheek. Jesus Christ could do that because he was freaking God, for sake. We aren't that. We're human beings. We have to work through forgiveness. We have to go into the discomfort. We have a 4-stage process of forgiveness. Mindy, over the last 40 years, we've taken people that were raped and left for dead that survived. And at the end of the course, they were forgiving the murderer or the rapist in jail. We have people like Scarlett Lewis that have forgiven the murder of the son. We have people that were sexually molested by their parents from 11 to 21 that completely forgave them through the process we teach. So as a listener, a viewer right now, you may think that how you were betrayed, cheated on by your partner, whatever it might be, is something that you could never forgive them for. They don't deserve it. It's not about them. You deserve to be free of the pain and resentment you're carrying. So do the work.
Definitely, yeah.
To be free,
Right.
and we've all been betrayed. We've all been cheated on. We've all been whatever,
Right.
and that's part of life, So what we say is, yeah, you can stay in the past for, a lack of forgiveness keeps you stuck in the past, Mindy, right?
Right.
You are not in the present when you have pain that you have not forgiven someone. And I've given you examples of deep pain.
Yeah.
But there's other times where we are angry at a former best friend and we don't forgive them for 20 years. And we think that they're suffering because we don't forgive them. Most of those people have moved on. They're not.
You're the sufferer.
Absolutely. Amen to that, Mindy.
Right. Yeah. We're all working stuff out. We all have different issues that we're dealing with, right? Nobody's walking on water here.
Oh my God, not at all. No.
Right. We all have issues.
It's a process.
Yeah.
The whole journey of life is a process. And, I was on a radio show earlier where they were talking about awakening and enlightenment and all that kind of stuff, and those are words that I used to use and I don't use them anymore. Anyone who says they're enlightened, I think that's a sign that they're not. The enlightened ones don't say it.
Right.
The Dalai Lama, a great example I'll give you about the Dalai Lama. People say that he's enlightened. That he's awakened, and he very well could be. But let me tell you a powerful quote from the Dalai Lama in his own book.
Okay.
All right. Here's an awakened individual. He says this: in Buddhism, and I am the leader of the Buddhist world, we teach the concept of reincarnation, that we're coming back and we're going to come back to overcome the challenges that we didn't overcome in the previous life. And then he says this: I'm not sure it's true. We teach it, but there's no way to prove that it's true or it isn't.
Right.
So we continue to teach it, but in all honesty, I really don't know if it's real. Now, there's a humble, awakened human being.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
Isn't it?
Well, anyway, is there anything, I want to kind of keep it short tonight, but is there anything else that you wanted to wrap up with here? Like anything else you want to say to the audience?
Yeah, I think that there's so many limitations in the mind that we need to release. In our counseling work, we always say to people, step one is to remove the blocks to your joy, happiness, whatever it might be, resentments, addictions, wasting time, procrastination, whatever it is. Step one is to look at your life and say, what's really holding me back? Is it procrastination? Is it a resentment against someone? Is it an addiction? So step one, as you're watching and listening right now, is I would ask you to write down, here's the thing I'd rather not deal with. I know I procrastinate. I know I have road rage, whatever it might be. So we say step one, remove that. And then step two, add. So if you're looking to change your life, step one is remove the issue. And then you can move forward. In addiction recovery, you can't recover if you're still drinking. I know that sounds stupid, but it's true. If you're a food addict, you can't recover if you're keeping eating sugar. So remove the issue, and now we can heal.
And so you have all these courses, I know. Do you have you have a whole team of people that teach them, or it's not just you?
Oh, it's just me, baby. Oh, no. This is
you're the one. Oh, really? You teach all of the classes?
I teach everything. And, we have 10 online courses that people can take on their own. And I have nothing to do with those because they're pre-recorded.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, those are the video courses. But then any of the one-on-one courses, I'm the only one. We have a team, but there's no other counselors but myself.
Oh, I see. Okay, good. Okay, great. All right. Well, David, thank you so much for gracing my show tonight. And
Yes.
I'm sure people will be watching and replay who I don't know how many people. You never know how many people are watching unless they comment. But
Yes.
will be the people watching replay. And congratulations again
Thank
on
you.
your engagement. Do you have a
Yes.
date when you're getting married, or
No, we're still working on that. I
you're
mean,
figuring that out? Okay.
we jumped into the engagement because it was time. It was
Okay.
absolutely time. And now we're planning on down the road and probably be within 6 to 8 months. My guess is
Okay.
that the wedding will happen, and it's going to be awesome.
Okay. Great. Well, I'll be following.
Please do. Yes.
Yeah, it's really great. And so, anyway, thanks so much for all your amazing things that you're doing. And it's wonderful. And everyone has all their information who's watching. And we will talk to you later.
Mindy, thank you a ton.
Okay. You're welcome, David. Okay. Good night.
Bye now.
Okay. Bye bye. Okay. So I hope you all enjoyed that. And let's see. So going forward, I'm going to be doing Facebook Lives in Woodstock for the summer on Sundays. Sundays in Woodstock, New York. And I really am excited about it. And I'll be planning my fall shows and working on that this summer. And I'll be promoting my YouTube channel, which I need to do. And let's see, I'm going to put my information. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, if you want a mug, $25, including shipping in the USA. They're really fun. Smile, they help you smile. They're really colorful, fun mugs. And I think that someone else wants to say hello and wish you. This is another mini Mindy based on a photo of me with all my different hats and wigs. And I do hats too, if anybody wants a custom hat. And you met Lava Lava, you met her. And let's see, who else wants to say hello? My rainbow elephant is giving you a big smile. And I think that's the show tonight. Wait a minute. I want to say, all my little friends like to say hello and give you a hi and smile. And wish you a good rest of your evening or whenever you're watching this in replay. And focus on the good, because there's always good going on, no matter what, and which will help you smile. And I will see you soon and let you know when June 6th is my first show, official show in Woodstock on Sunday. And that's it. So love you all very much and be well and join the Smile Revolution.